Hello, welcome back to 1874. It's time for a Europa League preview as Villa head to Switzerland on Thursday to take on FC Basel. Is it FC Basel? Is it FC Basel? Is it what Neil said to me just before we came on that I can't remember what it is now? But yeah, I think I'm saying it right. FC Basel, Villa, Switzerland, Thursday night, Europa League. Villa currently sitting third in the Europa League table and Basel are 24. So a good chance to get some more European points for Aston Villa. As I mentioned, I'm Dan Bardell. I don't think I did mention that. I can't remember if I said my name or not. I didn't. Neil is shaking his head and I've revealed his name twice. So if you're listening via audio, you'll have gathered that I'm joined by the For the Love of Paul McGrath podcast, Neil Dunworth, the man that lives on Y-Scout and lives for these type of games. Neil, how are you?
I'm good. I'm looking forward to this game. The game's like I'm not giving out. Okay, before anybody accuses me of giving out, I'm not giving out about the fact that we've got lots of games thick and fast. But the games are coming thick and fast.
Oh, big time!
And as you said, when you have to sit down and try and do some sort of analysis on a team and a 3-day turnaround, it's and try to find time to get to live life as well. It can be quite difficult. But these are good problems. These are successful team problems. These are the problems that we want to have. We want to have them next year when we've won the league and we're playing in the Champions League.
Yeah, I keep saying, obviously we all want to be in the Champions League, but this is now very reminiscent of Emery's first full season for me, where the Thursdays are actually like a nice change of pace. Because weirdly, when you're doing well in the Premier League and you're winning and you're riding high and you want to cement yourself in the top 3, the top 4, like we did a few years ago, and like we are now, every game feels absolutely life and death. It feels crucial. Like every time you win a game, it feels you're elated, you're delighted. I mean, you are anyway, but you know what I mean? It feels extra special at the moment when you win a game because you so want to be in that top 3, top 4 or on a title charge in some people's opinions. So the Thursday games, obviously we're riding quite well in the Europa League at the moment. It's a chance to give some players some minutes. It's a chance to rest some players, but yet still get a little bit of minutes into them. And largely we've coped with it really well, like we did first time round on a Thursday night when we were in the Conference League. But overall, I quite look forward to these games because they don't feel like life or death.
That's exactly it. Good start in these competitions is worth its weight in gold, which we didn't have in the Premier League, and so we have the enjoyment on both sides of the scale here. We didn't have a good start in the Premier League, but we had a good start in the Europa League. And I think a win on Thursday, which is imminently, something that we should be going for, and something that I'm expecting to win this game.
Same.
While obviously treating this team with the respect that they deserve, I'm expecting to win this game. Put us on to 15 points. I think that becomes like the levels of safety that would give us. Then I think would be great. Obviously, then we still have 2 games to go, but when you said you look forward to these games, I look forward to them as well, and I almost look forward to rotation as well that we get within the squad, because it's like sometimes it's nice to see. It's nice to see Victor Lindelof sometimes, the the man, the myth, the legend himself,
the Iceman.
Exactly, yeah, and it's also a nice look, I suppose, as well, that starting Malin and stuff like that in these games has given him confidence, that he's able to play with those other players, and he's brought that into the Premier League too. So on a game by game basis, we might poo some of the changes we made. You might go, that didn't look great, but they are building blocks for these players should they need to be thrown into the white hot battle of the Premier League too. And I'm expecting this, spoiler alert, I'm expecting this to be a heavily rotated side tomorrow. Again, because that's kind of what Unai Emery has done in this competition.
Yeah, it's nice for players like Bogard as well, who perhaps deserve more minutes, but because the midfield area is so stacked, although, to be fair, if we have got any defensive injuries, he might line up in defence if we're saving anyone for Sunday. But players like Bogard, who probably deserve a bit more at the moment, but aren't getting it, that's where it's nice when you're in Europe. Look, obviously, brilliant to be in Europe anyway, 3 seasons in a row and a chance at winning a trophy. But I think when you're not in Europe, it's harder to keep your group motivated and keep them happy. Like, imagine if Sancho wasn't playing on a Thursday night now. Sitting on the bench every week, I'm sure he'd be kicking up a stink or secretly unhappy. But the fact that he can, get minutes into himself on Thursday, try and push, try and impress, which I think largely he's done okay, Jadon Sancho. But I do think he was brought in with these kind of nights in mind initially.
Absolutely, he was the Europa League specialist for Chelsea last year.
Yeah, he won the Conference League, didn't he?
Sorry, the Conference League, last year for Chelsea. So that's a skill in itself. Being able to be ready for like within that Chelsea squad, you're not guaranteed to have 4, 5, 6 games played in a row. So being able to prepare yourself to come in spot starts is a skill in itself. Now, look, has Jadon Sancho been been a revelation for Aston Villa. I know he hasn't, but he's fulfilling a role. He's doing a job, and to be able to give 90 minutes off to a player that will be playing in his place and still get like a 6 out of 10 performance for him, he will kick on as well. I'm hoping in games like this as well. And yeah, look, it's not. It does the juice. Does the juice justify the squeeze with regards to somebody like Jadon Sancho? Look, we'll talk about that at the end of the year, I suppose. But having the rotational ability and not kind of lose out on what he brings to the team, the ball carrying ability, the specific skill sets of being a winger, which we don't have an awful lot of within our squad at the moment. They're needed for European football. You need those. You need to be able to stretch teams wide in European football, even more so than probably you do in the Premier League. So he's fulfilling a decent role. And I know you didn't ask me a question about him specifically, but he was a good example of what this rotation will allow Unai Emery to do, and keeping people happy from that point of view.
Yeah, and Bardell as well, fresh off his goal that I've watched a million times since it went in on Saturday. Now, he's found himself out of the team recently, hasn't he? Despite a good record generally this season, decent record in the Europa League as well. Except for if you ask him to take a penalty in Holland, I don't think we'll be asking him to take penalties again anytime soon. But even for him, like confidence high after getting the winner the other day, he'll play this game. And unusually as well, I think Luca Dean might play because Maatsen has been the Premier League fullback in the last couple of games. So it's a bit of a situation shift for those two, where it's Luca Dean who suddenly hasn't started for 2 games, and he's probably going to get the call up on a Thursday night.
Absolutely. Yeah, I expect him to play. I expect Lindelof to be in there some way, shape, or form. I expect Bogart to play. I expect Sancho.
Maybe.
It'd be nice. It'd be really, really nice to see that. Yeah, it'd be really nice. He does seem to be the forgotten man at the moment. But yeah, I expect to see rotation. I expect to see heavy rotation. I expect to see George Hemmings on the bench again. He didn't play for the under-19s yesterday in their last Alkmaar when they exited the Europa Youth League. Expect to see him there. I might even expect to see Bizot in goals.
Yeah, maybe.
So it could be like, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, as he's done this before, to see 7 changes.
Yeah, that's what he does, isn't he? He keeps 3 or 4 who've maybe, so someone like McGinn who's had a rest recently. He didn't come on in the last Europa League game, did he? He was on the bench. He's been taken off a few times recently in league games. He keeps some people in. I'm imagining McGinn might be one that stays in because he's had a little bit of a rest recently. Maybe Tillemans or Anana, one of them plays somewhere, because I think they've had breaks recently where they've been on the bench as well. Just overall, I think we've got a decent squad at this level where we can afford to change things on a Thursday night and it not affect us too much. But then we also have the luxury of getting minutes into people that are going to play on Sunday as well in what's a difficult game. And I think so far this season, if my memory serves me correctly, after Thursdays, we've been at home. This might be the first time that we've had a Thursday game and we've been away on the Sunday. I could be remembering it wrong, but it feels like most weeks at least have been at home after Europe. So that's a new thing for us this season: Thursday travel and then away game on Sunday as well.
Yeah, that's been. No one talks about that anymore. Like last year and the year before specifically, we would always
Champions
talk about
League,
the
it was
hangover.
a big topic, wasn't it?
The hangover that we would have from, they played midweek, they played brilliantly, and then they go out and they play on Saturday and they look leggy and tired and like they can't do anything. We've learned to overcome that. The team has learned to overcome that now, and that's, once again, like, there's no substitute for the experience of having to deal with that. Like, you can mentally train yourself all you want, but like your legs will get tired, and it's about being able to manage minutes, in game, learning how to do that, learning how to have active resting periods, learning how to have that passive defensive resting periods that Unai Emery builds into the team. Not passive defensive, but I suppose passive midfield areas, that allows it to get to our defense so that our defense can deal with it. All those things they're all part of the game. They're all part of managing minutes, managing the sports science aspect of things, learning how to play the game, I suppose, on 2 fronts. And the club has done that well, and not only just from a results point of view, but trying to keep players fit and healthy as well. Fingers crossed that stays, because we need all our players fit and healthy.
Yeah. Now, Neil, I know very much that you're a family man. You're a busy man as well. But if I know you, when your wife and kids have been asking you to spend time with them over the last few days, it's been no, I've got to go on Wisecout and watch some Swiss football. What do you know about FC Basel?
Little. I suppose
Wisecout,
the big thing that I know about FC Basel is that they have an incredibly good scouting situation that they've got going on there, and they sell their players for good money. So that's one of the traps that I fell into, is that they've sold a couple of players that have been they've looked promising but not really delivered massively for them on the statistical output. You look at what's his name from Chelsea, or actually he's not with Chelsea anymore. He's at Juventus, I think. Renato Vega,
Mhm.
the Portuguese guy. He played with Basel 23, 24. Ricardo Calafiori was with Basel in and around then, I think, as well. Tierno Barry, they've all moved on. Not to mention Mo Salah back in
Yeah.
the early teens was with Basel. So that this is the thing. This is why I'm expecting Aston Villa to win, but I'm also giving them the respect that they deserve, because they may have some players in there that you're looking at and you're going to go, don't really know a whole pile about these. They're not any household names. And in 2 years' time, we're seeing them sign for big European clubs, because that's what Basel do. They also have a very good record of creating good Swiss players like Alexander Fry.
And
Am I
Bolo is he, Basel?
Mbolo was Basel? Am I
He's
right?
he's played in every international tournament for the last 20 years, it feels like, and he's still
Yeah,
probably only in his 20s. Like, I feel like he's one of those players like the Mexican goalkeeper that just appears at every tournament. You forget
yeah.
he exists until the tournament. I don't even know who. Actually, I did know who he's played for, but I've completely forgotten. But you know what I mean? Just one of those players that just appears and feels like he's been around forever.
I had forgotten as well. He definitely is, and he's somebody like he's only not even 30 yet, I don't think. And I'm
Where's he
still
gone?
banging the
It's
drum.
annoying me that I can't remember where he
Is it
is.
Mönchengladbach or Monaco?
Yes.
It could be Mönchen. He
Oh,
was at Mönchengladbach. I think he might be with Monaco
I
now.
was going to say a German team.
But you know who else came through the Basel academy as well? Is the two Xhakas,
Oh,
Granite and
really?
Taulant Xhaka, both of those. So what I'm getting at here is that you got to be mindful. No, not we're going back what 15 years for the two Xhakas that came through there, but and Mo Salah. But you got to be mindful of some of the players here that you may not know a whole pile about. And I don't know a whole pile about them. I'm going to be honest with you. But like realistically speaking, they've got you see Ivorian left winger Traore in there as well. I think his name is Bene Traore. He's a decent, very very good dribbler of the ball. The striker Ajeti, he played with West Ham, and he played with Celtic as well. He had a brief visit at West Ham, but he played more so with Celtic. He's in there, Swiss striker too. They've got a decent. I think he's still there as a decent centre back. A Genti or something like that is how you pronounce it. He's only young. He's only 20, 21 years of age. He's somebody I could see go on to bigger and better leagues as well. So they're managed by former Swiss international. Is it Ludwig Magnin? I think he was a left back. He's 40 some. He's young enough, if I remember rightly. I think he's maybe about 45, 46, because I'm getting to that age now where I'm kind of looking at managers and I'm going, I've achieved nothing, and these guys have played
Yeah.
a full professional football career, and now they're managing football teams, and I'm close in age to them. Uh,
You've achieved having
so,
the nicest jumper I've seen on a show
oh,
for a
brilliant!
while.
Oh,
You've,
thank you
you've
very
achieved
much.
that. For those that are listening
Yeah.
via audio, Neil's got an Asics classic retro jumper on at
Muller
the
in the
moment.
back and everything.
Oh, Muller on the back. It's
Muller
an
in the back,
absolute
yeah.
sensation. Is Shaqiri at Basel?
He is. Shaqiri's at
Oh,
Basel. Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. He is there. Xherdan Shaqiri back from
there we go. Some
Chicago
knowledge for you.
Fire, I think it was he was with, and he's back there. Yeah, he's getting up there now. He must be about 34, 35, but
Oh, yeah.
don't give free kicks away.
Yeah,
Really.
don't let him
That's
shoot.
Yeah,
A
don't
lovely
let him
wand of,
shoot.
wand of a left foot Shaqiri over
Yeah, yeah.
over the years, hasn't it? I think that probably does us, Neil. I mean, we've
Yeah,
done our best. I don't like. There's no point. Other people might do this, where you come on and you pretend that you know loads about the team, but it's just
yeah, yeah,
dishonest. Why would I know loads about FC Basel? It's just not going to happen, is it? I thought you
yeah.
might, to be honest. And
Oh well,
you probably only
uh,
knew a little bit more than me. I trusted you, Neil, and
it's
you
it,
came to me and let me down.
I just haven't had time to watch games and
Okay.
stuff like that with them. So I was just kind of looking at the players and seeing if I'd watched any of them, and then kind of going through, what they've done, as a team. So that's the best I can give you. I suppose one other nugget for you is they're only in third in the Swiss Super League, and they're 7 points off the top place with FC Thun, St. Gallen. Then you've got Basel, and they're 1 point ahead of Young Boys Bern as well. In the league, who are in fourth place. So, look,
Okay.
I know that league form isn't the barometer of anything, but if you were to take anything from that, the fact that we've played young boys and we played them, we were by far the better team. I think against that, albeit for the last 10 minutes, we should be able to go to Basel and hopefully put them to the sword early enough and have a comfortable victory over there, albeit being respectful of their capabilities as well as a team. But yeah, it's as I say, matches ticking fast. Trying to watch footage or trying to do a lot of analysis on teams that you're not fully aware of. Yeah, it's tough going at the moment, but we love it. We love trying to,
Absolutely.
at least at the same time.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, Villa third in the Europa League table at the moment, FC Basel 24th. So again, that probably gives you a picture of where both teams are at. Neil, I'm not going to ask you for a score prediction because I don't really like doing that anymore. But throw me a goal scorer. Throw me a goal scorer.
I am going to say that. Do I go safe or do I just go something bonkers? Right, I'm going to say that Lamar Bogart's going to score his first
Oh
senior
my,
goal.
he's gone wild.
There you
I'm,
go. Let's just go wild.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go wild as well. I'm just going to say Shaqiri's going to score for Basel, but it'll be a free kick that's a cross, but it'll just float straight in.
I thought you were going to go really wild and say
That's
Harvey
quite
Elliott.
wild. I've gone very specific there with what I think's going to happen. Obviously, I hope it doesn't happen, or if it does, Villa are already 5-0 up. But that's mine. He has got a wand of a left foot, Shaqiri, and he is also one of the smallest footballers I've ever seen in my life. But magnificent calves from memory
His calves are huge.
up there with Jack Grealish. So, yeah, watch out for him on Thursday night. Neil, it's always a pleasure to get you on. Thank you very much for coming on. Have you got any for the love of Paul McGrath content that you would like to plug whilst you are here?
Yeah, I suppose I'm going to be doing a follow-up to. So about 5 weeks ago, I did a podcast on Alisson Edward, who looks like Aston Villa are interested in.
5 weeks ago you did that?
Yeah, it was a while ago.
ITK, that is now.
Yeah, it was some time ago. And I've had time to watch him a small bit more. So I'm going to do kind of a follow-up podcast on him, because I'm not going to say that my views have changed on him, but my views have changed slightly on him, and just what he's capable of. So, and I do have a player comparison that I can't get out of my head for him, that is quite different to a lot of other people's. It's not about being right or being wrong. I just find it funny that I see him this way and other people see it another way. And then look, Team Sheet Tantrums post-match podcasts will be here for Basel and for West Ham, and I don't know, but I'm like a child at Christmas for West Ham at the weekend. It's just I don't know why I can't get it out of my head. So watch us be let down for that one, because usually when I get this excited, I need to be knocked off my perch slightly. But yeah, there's just lots of stuff going on with Villa at the moment, and it's great. It's all positive, and we've got fans chirping at us all over on social media. And look, that's that kind of discourse and that kind of messing and joking is what following football teams are all about. It's just easier to do it when you're in a great winning streak like we are at the moment.
Yeah, do go over to Neil's channel and subscribe if you're not doing that already. But don't forget to subscribe here at 1874 as well. There's a couple of pieces of content coming up in the next 24 hours. I have secured Tim Vickery, so I'm doing a show with him that will probably come out on Thursday at some point. Like Neil, looking at what's his name? Alisson? I'll just call him
Alisson Edward.
Alisson Edward, see what Tim Vickery, South American football expert. To be fair, it doesn't get much better than Tim Vickery, really.
Tim is brilliant.
Yeah, see what he thinks of Villa's prospective new signing. So watch out for that. And of course, I will be live also after the FC Basel game on Thursday. So once again, thank you to Neil. Don't forget to subscribe with your post notifications on. Do all these things for both channels. If you're listening via Spotify or Apple, 5 stars, reviews and comments are really appreciated. Views have been magnificent over the last week or so. So thank you very much to all those that are supporting the channel. Keep your eye on our socials so you know when content is coming out. So all that's left to say is an up the Villa from me and up the Villa from Neil Dunworth.